Now then guys, how are you doing? Craig here and thank you for joining me for the first rebuild of this FM22 cycle as I take on Borussia Dortmund. Now a team that probably don't need a rebuild, but a team that have underachieved. They've got the likes of Erling Haaland, they've got the likes of Moukoko as well. It's a real top talent coming through. They've got a really good squad, but Bayern Munich are just so dominant. I think this one is about just trying to dethrone them and haven't won the Champions League since 1997. So that's the push, that's the aim of today's episode, is really to beat Bayern Munich at their own game and win the Bundesliga, but also win that Champions League crown as well. So the aim is in all of my rebuilds, if you haven't seen them before, is I've got 5 years to completely rebuild. We simulate every season. I'm not in charge for any of the games. 0 matches played, that's the aim. As my assistant manager takes charge with the team that I've assembled and the tactic that I've put together. So before we move on, if you are new to the channel, please like and subscribe. It would mean a lot as we're currently sat just below 600 subs and I really want to push on this season as we've had some rapid growth. The channel's not even 6 months old yet and we're still going for it. We're still going strong. So I would really appreciate if you could do that. And for those of you that are already subbed and are continued watchers, thank you very much for your support. Genuinely means a lot. So let's get into it then, guys. Let's try not to blow this, as I'm sure it's going to be a challenge to keep this squad together if I don't start winning early. Right, so then exciting times as we get to have a look at FM22 together in its beta stage. Obviously, it won't be too far away from completion. I've got to say that the skin looks sick. And I'm sure that'll change for me throughout. I do change the skins up throughout the cycle of FM22, but initial first reactions, I'm sure you'll agree, looks incredible. We've got the home, away and third kit there. Currently the manager with captain Marco Reus and vice captain Mats Hummels. Dortmund's fierce rifle Schalke, just been relegated I believe, and are currently in the Bundesliga too. Shocking, absolutely shocking. But yeah, we've got a lot to do with this. They've already got a real quality team, which we'll look at shortly. When we look at the overview and the history of the club, the last won the Champions League, like I said earlier, in 1997, and they haven't won the Bundesliga since 2012. Only won the Bundesliga 8 times. The dominant force in Germany, obviously, is Bayern Munich, and that's a team that we're looking to dethrone, as, yeah, they're running away with it. But last season, the third place finish, finished a point behind Red Bull Leipzig, and then 2 second place finishes the season before that. Finances wise then, we've got 8.5 million to spend. I'm not overly worried about that because Dortmund have got a quality team anyway. They've got 2.19 million to spend and are currently spending 2.12. So we've got a little bit to play with. We've obviously got top scouting budget there as well. Financially, like I say, £15 million in the overall balance. So we are in the black as it stands. Got to do a little bit of business just to keep us afloat. But a decent run domestically and in Europe will obviously set us straight anyway. So as a quick introduction to the team, then we'll have a look at the squad depth. So obviously the main man, 4.5 star current ability and potential, Erling Haaland. What an absolute boss this guy is. 20-year-old, can you believe it? 12 goals in 15 caps for Norway. Doesn't need any introduction. Every top team in the world's got to be looking at him, especially in Europe, naturally. He's not going to go anywhere else, but he's currently valued at 100 million to 113 million pounds. And I think anybody who come in for him at the minute, he's worth every penny. He scored 40 goals in 43 league appearances for Borussia Dortmund as well. And we look down there, 17 goals in 16 for Salzburg. I don't know why nobody come in for this guy earlier, but yeah, Erling Haaland, country mile the best player at the club. Behind him then, with the formation that we're potentially going to play, which is going to be the 4-2-3-1, we'll play with the wide men. Marco Reus behind Erling Haaland. Again, a real quality player, but on the older side, on 32. 44 caps, 13 goals for Germany. Really, really good player though. 99 goals in 214 appearances. History-wise, he spent a long time at Dortmund. Going for 13.75 million, and he's currently valued 37 to 40. Marco Reus is then the best player out on both wide areas as well. I've also got Reina. What a player he is, Giovanni Reina. Definite wonder kid and on his way. And then on the other side, Eden Hazard's lesser brother, I would say. Thorgan Hazard is playing there. 28-year-old, 39 caps for Belgium. Then in the midfield, we've got Witsel, Guerrero, 2 quality players with Emre Can in there as well. Everyone knows about him from when he was at Liverpool. Obviously went a free transfer to Juve, and I rated him. I really did when he left. But yeah, Axel Witsel there, and also Guerrero, which I would be playing out in the wider areas. Definitely, like it says there, I would be playing him out on that side as a defensive left. Central defences then, Hummels, Akanji, Zagadou. Quality. I'm only going to play 2 centre-backs anyway. I'm not going to go for the 3. I'm just going to play a flat back 4 as it stands. Then Emre Can. Thomas Meunier out there as well. Now he's got to be cracking on. 29-year-old, so he's in his prime as it stands. Again, they've got a quality team already. And Hitz is apparently the best goalkeeper at the club. 33-year-old, not for me. Berkey, I think, is the better goalkeeper out of the three. He's not that good on here, though, I'll be honest. 30-year-old and can be a bit of a liability. When you look at his eccentricity there, 16. And then my last goalkeeper, Coble. Not a bad goalkeeper as well. 23-year-old Swiss, not capped at all by them yet, but looks good there. Is he a new addition? Yeah, 12.75 million this season. So they've already spent a bit of money. So let's have a look at the transfers already then. History-wise, then we spent 38.5 million. 86 million pounds gone out. Delaney, 6 million pounds. Jadon Sancho going to Manchester United. 73 million pound. I'm happy to take that. We spent 25 million on Malen. What a player this one is as well. He was quality on the FM21 cycle, so I'm happy with that. Looks good. So for me then, we're going to move forward to the start of Season 1. Just have a quick look at the schedule and see what we're starting with here. So we're starting with that game against Frankfurt. We've also got the Pokal first round. Bayern Munich second game of the season now, but that's in the Super Cup. So we've got an opportunity for silverware early doors. But yeah, looking good so far. Lastly then, we'll have a look at our expected finish. We're expected a second place finish, 11-2. We've got 2 players in the media dream, 11 Guerrero and Hummels. And Erling Haaland doesn't even get in there, but Lewandowski, what a player. Look at the state of that. He's only 32 as well. He's scored 203 goals in 219 appearances. This guy's a robot. But anyway, like I say, what we're going to do is now we're going to move forward to the start of the season. I may have strengthened the squad. This one may not be a rebuild early doors, but we do need to push on in Europe. And naturally, we need to dethrone Bayern Munich as well, as we've just seen. Robert Lewandowski, incredible player. Got potential to hurt us on his own. So yes, let's get on to the start of Season 1 then.
That was my next question.
Dilly dong, come on.
Right then guys, so we're back for the start of Season 1 and it's been a tough one, I'll be honest. This transfer window has been hard. Financially, you know, £8 million to spend. We were having to move players on to bring players in. And I didn't really want to move any of my better players. So I was looking at it as, if it's not broken, why try and fix it in terms of the squad. So I have brought in one player. Usama Idrisi has joined us. Now, he's joined us from Sevilla for £5 million after they paid £10.75 million for him. He was on loan at Ajax last season, only played 8 games, coming as number 27, 25-year-old Moroccan, 7 caps for them. And he's a decent wide man, playing him out on the left and right-hand side. We're probably going to play him out on that left-hand side, if I'm completely honest. He's right-footed, balanced, but he's got decent enough attributes for what I want. Crossing and dribbling, both high with 14 and 16. Composure 12 and decision making, we could work on that. Acceleration and pace 14. I think he's got enough about him for the money that we paid. Like I say, £5 million. Only 8 games for Ajax last season. Could be a little bit of a concern, but I didn't really have the money to play with. And because of that, financially, we've only got £3.8 million left. We're still decent down in the wage budget. And we've got £9 million now in the overall balance. We've made a loss of £1.3 million, but I'm not overly worried about that as it stands. In our youth squad though, we have obviously got Makuku. What a player he's going to be. Everybody's heard of this guy, I'm sure. I'm just going to leave him in the under-19s because I don't think he'd feature too much anyway, because we are going to simulate obviously going forward throughout the seasons. And I think if you brought him up to the first team straight away, he would get 0 game time. So we're just going to leave him on those under-19s, and then next season we'll try and integrate him into the squad, especially when we're playing one up front as well. So looking at the squad dynamics now then, team cohesion is average, club atmosphere is very good, and my geo support is average. As far as the influencers go, I've got 3 team leaders, Hummels, Royce and Witsel, and Royce supports us. I've only got 3 players that support us. That is poor out of a possible 26. And looking at the tactic then, we're going to line up like this. So we're going to play a gang and press. Obviously, that's the way to go. But we're going to play a 4-2-3-1 wide attacking. I'm going to play an attacking mentality. I think that's the way to go. I want to outscore my opponents. Yes, we may not keep too many clean sheets. We only need to beat Bayern Munich, if I'm completely honest. Now, I'm saying that and we'll get smashed by everybody else. But we just need to beat Bayern. As long as we can be getting points against Bayern, then that should put us in a relatively decent position to take the Bundesliga crown. So what I'm looking at for my starting 11 is Berkey in goal, Guerrero, Akanji, Hummels and Meunier at the back, with Bellingham and Witsel in front. Jude Bellingham. The talent in this squad is unbelievable. I don't need to go out and buy big names. I've got some real quality youth on the way through and currently in the first team anyway. So Jude Bellingham, all-rounded in the centre of midfield with Idrisi, Royce and Hazard out on that right-hand side, and then Haaland up front. You know, if we don't finish in the top 2 with this, I'll end up losing my job anyway. Are we going to win the league in the first season? Wouldn't that be fantastic? What a way to start the FM22 cycle if we won the league. The real thing for me is just to build this season, get the team used to the formation that I want to play, the style of play that I want as well, and then do well in Europe, give a good account of ourselves, not get embarrassed, and then build on after that. So what we're going to do then is we're going to simulate forward in this first season, and then you'll join me at the end of it, where hopefully I'm still in a job for starters, and we've got a bit of silverware to our name. So here we go then, end of season 1, top of the league, completed it mate, top of the league, 12 points clear of Bayern Munich. Let's just have a quick look at this league table. 93 points on the board, bossed it already, 30 wins, 3 draws, 1 loss. Who did we lose to? Hertha Berlin. Hertha Berlin out of all the teams. So we didn't lose against Bayern Munich. Did we draw against Bayern Munich? No, so we won them home and away. 89 goals scored, 24 against. That's not bad going at all. Less than a goal a game as we had 34 games. With a goal difference of plus 65. But like I say, 93 points on the board. Bayern Munich, is their manager still in charge? It's Nagelsmann, isn't it? He's still in charge as well. He didn't lose his job for a second place finish. So there we go then, guys. First season in. We've won the league. What about the rest of the competitions? We won the Pokal as well. There we go. How did we get on in that one against Mainz in the final 4-2? Let's have a look at it. 23 shots, 9 on target, 53% possession. Bossed it there. And then we lost in the Super Cup to Bayern Munich, didn't we? Bayern Munich, who we were playing early on in the season. So there we go then, guys. First season in. Brought one player into a team that was already strong enough. But Europe, we were knocked out by Liverpool in the Champions League. How did we get on? Let's have a look at the schedule then. So going through... Obviously, we're looking for Liverpool. We lost 3-1 at home. We then won 2-1 at Anfield, but by that point, it was too late. Let's just have a quick look at this one. Haaland getting a goal for us on 55, but yeah, they were the better team in that one with 27 shots, 11 on target. Obviously, we're naturally playing that really attacking style of play, and we just got caught out by a much better Liverpool side. Finances-wise, then we've got £66 million in the overall balance now, and transfer budget-wise, we've got 21 million. Wage budget, we're still well under it, 150k under our wage budget. But yeah, balance is looking really good now, with a profit of £105 million this season. Obviously, league titles get you money as well. We just didn't go far enough in Europe. But I am intrigued, obviously, about this performance within the league. So just having a look at our past positions, really. So we were top from day one. Top from day one. How did Bayern Munich get on? So from game number 3, they were second. So it's basically been a 2-horse race all season. The Bundesliga is a joke. Absolute joke. Where was Leipzig? Leipzig in 6th place. Köln finishing 3rd. Bayer Leverkusen 4th. Freiburg in 5th. Wowza. Union Berlin, Hoffenheim. And is it Augsburg who all went down? Let's have a look again. So no, just Union Berlin and Hoffenheim went down. When we're looking at the league stats, Erling Haaland with 37 goals in the league, comfortably the top goal scorer. Lewandowski with 19 in second, average rating 7.81 for Haaland. Assists was Grifo from Freiburg with 15. Man of the match was Weghorst with 8. Clean sheets was Neuer with 18. Korbel ended up being the number 1 by the look of it, and he got 15 clean sheets. So not bad at all. And let's just have a look as far as stats-wise overall, as Erling Haaland got 51 goals and was the top goal scorer. Highest average rating was Haaland with a 7.7. Most assists, Hazard and Guerrero with 13 apiece. Best pass completion was Hummels with 96%. Most player of the match awards, Haaland, who else, with 10. Yellow cards, Hummels and Emre Can, 7 apiece. Most red cards were Scholes and Pongracic. I'm going to say that's how I pronounce. That's close enough, innit? Let's be honest. Team stats wise then, 89 goals scored was the best in the league. 24 goals conceded, which was second best. Yellow cards, 41, second best. 2 red cards, though, was the 7th worst. We had the best average attendance, 77,000. Love that. And just having a quick look at how Idrissi got on. Hopefully he's played plenty of games for us. He played 13 games for us, 1 assist. Started 4 times, though, in the league. Not ideal. What's he worth now? He's good, though. He's going to be really good. 26-year-old. Valued at 7 million. So there we go. So Idrissi didn't really set the world alight, let's be honest. Tactically, we know how we set up. Exactly the same. 4-2-3-1 attacking. And dynamics-wise, team cohesion is very good. Club atmosphere is excellent. And managerial support is very good. Haaland wants to move to a bigger club. I've got some unhappy players though. Top influencers, anybody opposes. Idrissi, doesn't surprise us. We brought him in, he hasn't really featured. But I've now got 12 players that support us. We just need to get Idrissi on side, really. So that's it then, guys. First season down and we've bossed the league. That was quicker than expected. But in fairness, when you only bring that one player in the first season, if you rebuild, you know you're in a fairly decent place and your squad's in strong shape. So what we're going to do then is we're going to move forward to the start of season 2, where I'll talk about the ins and outs for this coming season.
That was my next question.
Come on.
Right then, guys, so we're back for season 2. And we've strengthened, we've brought more players in than we did in the first season. We've let a couple of players go, but we're not getting the big money. And in fairness, it's been quite difficult to get these transfers in. So when we look at the transfers, have a look at the transfer history. Axel Witsel left on a free transfer, now 33-year-old in the centre of the midfield, still a quality player. But it was time to move him on. I'm going to say that I was trying to freshen up the squad and bring some youth in. That certainly ain't been the case. You know, some of the players that I've brought in are equally as old, maybe not 33, but are at the back end of their career. But firstly, looking at players that have left, Berkey has gone to Shakhtar Donetsk. Goalkeeper, I liked him, but we just got a better option now. And my substitute keeper, Marvin Hitz, he's not ideal, but he's, like I say, he's going to play probably 1 or 2 games a season. If he's really lucky, and I'm really unlucky, that's the way it's going to go. So Berkey's gone. He went for next to nothing, 8.5 million. He's probably worth more than that in the grand scheme of things, but we got 8.5 million in the bank. Next to go was Marius Wolf, so he stayed in Germany. He's gone to Bayer Leverkusen. We let him go for 6.5 million after spending 4.4 million on him to get him in back in 2018. Played 6 games for us with 2 goals last season, a 7.16 rating. You know, he wasn't bad, but he did threaten us with leaving on a free transfer at the end of the season, so it was time to get some money for him. And then the last player to leave was Matteo Mori. So he has gone to Besiktas, 22-year-old Spaniard. We got him on a free transfer from Barcelona in 2019 and let him go for 4.4 million. 6 games for his last season, 7.3 rating. But yeah, we got money for him as well. He wasn't a great player, let's be honest. Yes, 22-year-old and time on his side. But yeah, look at that, the difference in value, 850k to 7.6 million. It's quite a wide scope, that, isn't it? But coming in then, the first player that we brought in was a French international, 28 caps, 2 goal, Corentin Tolisso. Now, he joined us from Bayern Munich, so we took him from our biggest rival as far as, obviously, title challenge goes. They spent 36.5 million on him, played 20 games for him last season as well, and we've got him on a free transfer. Decent player, can play in the centre of the park, 27-year-old, just about to hit his prime. Apparently, he's an emergency backup. I think he's better than that, certainly is. Currently valued at 4.9 million. Absolutely no value in the guy, though. Another one in is Jorge Diarcieta. Now, he has joined us, 28-year-old, fully capped again, 43 caps for Uruguay, 4 goals in there. Currently valued at 17 to 23 million, and he's a very good player, well all-rounded. Going to play behind the striker. That's what I've brought him in for. With Marco Reus getting towards the end of his career now. So he's going to be in. We'll see how much he features. Didn't spend massive money on him, 13.25 million. He's played 8 games in the current season as he's joined us mid-season from Flamenco. But yeah, 8 games, 7.12 rating, 3 assists. And then lastly, we've brought in Eden Hazard. So we've got the both Hazards playing for us, potentially on each side as well. Quality player, currently valued at 29 million to 37 million pound. 31-year-old, yes, you know, like I say, getting on a bit. But we got for 3.3 million pounds from Real Madrid after they spent 92 million pound on him 3 seasons ago. An absolute bargain. You know, even if I only get a season out of this guy and sell him for 20 million pound, that's a decent return. So yeah, Hazard can play across, obviously free behind the striker, wherever you want him. But there is potential for us to end up with a Hazard out on each side. So when we look at the ins and outs overall, we've sold for a total of 19.5 million and we spent 16.5. That's not bad for me. That's fairly decent, you know. We've recovered a little bit of money, £3 million. And financially, when we look at it, we've got 19.2 million in the bank. Wage budget, we're just under it, and we've got £127 million in the overall balance, and that is just going up and up and up. Hopefully, at the end of this season, we should get a bit more money to spend. You know, we shouldn't be messing about with £20 million. I'd like to take 60, 70 million and really go for it. Because when we look at competitions, yes, we have got the Champions League again. Bundesliga, I think anything less than winning the Bundesliga now will be a failure. Obviously, the Pokal, we are defending that as well. It's just the German Super Cup, which is the game that we've got against Bayern Munich again. So it's all about this Champions League run in Season 2. So looking at contracts-wise, then we could have players leaving us at the end of next season. I'm more worried about the likes of Haaland, obviously. He's in there at the end of, 2 seasons we've got him for. He's a quality player, elite striker. So we've got 2 seasons potentially out of him, unless obviously I can get him tied down on another contract. Now, I have brought some players through. Makuku has joined us. And so is North as well, obviously, from our youth teams. But contractually, there's obviously a little bit of worry over the next couple of seasons that we could lose some of our big names. We have just tied Jude Bellingham down, though. He's now with us to 2027. So he will see out, obviously, the remainder of this rebuild with us. We've got 5 years, like I say, to really pull this all together. Tactically then, obviously, we're going to stay exactly the same with the 4-2-3-1 wide attacking. We're going to with Kobel in goal, Guerrero, Zagadou, Hummels and Emre Can at the back, with Reina and Bellingham in the middle, Hazard out with Diarra and Idrissi out on the other side, who has stayed with us, got to keep him on side, and Haaland leading the line again. And looking at the season preview, we're still expected 7-2 to finish second. We've got Guerrero, Hummels, but Haaland up front now, so we've got 3 players in that media dream 11. But yeah, we've got to expect a little bit more than that second place. And just having a look at the dynamics lastly, obviously it's great across the board. What about influencers? Nobody opposes us now. I've now got the support of Idrissi, who obviously was opposing me at the end of the season. We've managed to get him back on side. I've got 12 players that support us, 12 players that have no real opinion. So it's a 50-50 split at the minute. You know, another Bundesliga, that's got to get everybody on side. So what we're going to do is we're going to simulate forward for another 12 months to the end of season 2. And hopefully we've wrapped up the Champions League, the Pokal, the Super Cup and the Bundesliga. So yeah, let's simulate forward to the end of the season. Right then guys, so it's the end of season 2 and I've somehow managed to make the team worse, let's be honest. I've finished in second place, 34 games played, 55 goal difference, 68 points on the board though, 13 behind Bayern Munich. Let's just have a look at the league table. Let's have the breakdown. After we battered them last season, we drew 8 games. We lost 6, like I say, we only lost 1 last season. 87 goals scores looks like the best. 32 conceded though, 32 conceded. Bayern Munich only conceded 14. Had the best goal difference though, 55. 68 points on the board, which is really poor. But Bayern Munich, Pip was to it. Let's have a look at the past positions then. So we were all over the place to start with. Ended up from match day 23, sitting in second all the way through. I'm assuming Bayern were top of the league. No, actually, they struggled a bit, and then for them, match day 20 and sat top. So who was top then? Wolfsburg were up and about there, and they collapsed. They fell from grace there, going from basically 1st to 7th in the space of, what, 6 weeks? That is shocking. So yeah, Bayern Munich have done us. What about the rest of the competitions though? This doesn't look good, does it? Let's be honest. As we got knocked out in the first round of the Champions League again, but this time by Juve, shocking. We were knocked out in the 3rd round of the Pokal by Bayern Munich, and we lost to Bayern Munich in the Super Cup. Again, to the Pokal then, who won it? Eintracht Frankfurt won it, in fairness. So where did Bayern Munich go out? They didn't even make it to the semi-finals. So they went out, Leipzig on penalties, 0-0. That's fine. At least Bayern Munich didn't get a full domestic treble anyway. So looking at finances quickly then, we've currently got a transfer budget of 33 million, wage budget of 2.4 million, so we're 200k under that. We've got 109 million pound in the overall balance, and naturally that will decrease as the season goes on. So we're probably seeing that at its worst for this season before we bulk it back up again. But 33 million isn't a bad place to be, transfer budget a bit higher. But because of our poor performance, we've now got a major dilemma is what do we do with Haaland? Do I pray that he'll accept a new contract, or do I look at selling him on? So when we're looking at the squad, Haaland, 46 goals in 46 games. Should we try and offer him a new contract? He's not interested. He's not interested. He's currently really unhappy at the club. So Haaland, look at the state of him. He's going to have to go. I'm going to have to let him go. So season 3, guys, and it looks like Erling Haaland is going to be out of here. I could have him for another season and risk him going on a free, and I don't want to do that. So yes, this could be the season where we either completely collapse, because Haaland, in fairness, has been carrying us, or we just invest the money wisely and really push on from there. So we've got that conundrum anyway. What about squad dynamics? Club atmosphere isn't great. Obviously, form hasn't been good for us, but team cohesion and managerial support is there. Haaland there wants to move to a bigger club, so does Jude Bellingham, but it doesn't matter. We've got him tied down now. So top influencers wise, anybody opposes, the Hood opposes us, but I've now got 17 players that support us. So we've got another 5 players since the start of season 2 that have joined us anyway, that actually on my side. Fantastic. Finally then, looking at the player stats, so Erling Haaland was the top goal scorer with 46. He also had the highest average rating with a 7.54. Most assists was Hazard and Royce with 12 apiece. Best pass completion was Akanji with 95%. And most player of the match awards was Haaland with 7. As far as the team stats go, we scored 87 goals, which was the best. We conceded 32 though, which is the third best. Yellow cards wise, 46, and no red cards this season, so maybe not as physical as we have been. However, I think looking at the tactics, I might have to drop off that really attacking setting. And with Haaland going, I might push the 2 up top. I might go 4-2-4. I'm not quite sure. So that's something to think about. So what we're going to do then is we're going to skip forward to the start of season 3. I'm going to hopefully do some decent transfer business. Try and work out what I'm going to do with Haaland. And yes, you'll catch me with hopefully a much improved squad after the calamity we've just had in season 2.
That was my next question.
Dilly dong, come on.
Right then guys, so we're back for the start of season 3 and we're halfway through now this rebuild, but Haaland has gone. He's gone to Manchester City for 85 million, but I've got to ask you, if Haaland went on a free transfer, would that be worse? But we won the Bundesliga again this season and got even further in the Champions League. You know, if we won it, fantastic, it would be justified. But if we got even further in the Champions League, would that be acceptable? Now, I've had to ask myself, really, did I need the money? Yes. I'm doing a rebuild. That's the whole point. You know, get as much money as we possibly can, regenerate it into the squad and go and go and go. Where Haaland was a player that carried it by himself. If you were a fan, would it have been my fault that he left? Would you have looked at it in the fact of, I should have done more to keep Haaland? Should I have tied him down earlier on, you know, season 1? Should I have tried to get him on a bigger contract? Or is it a success that we got 85 million for him with 1 year left on his contract? I don't know. You know, only time will tell this season. I would like to win the Bundesliga without him, don't get me wrong, but I've got 3 more years really to win the Champions League because that's the main aim. You know, we've already won the Bundesliga, and while I'd like to win it again and again, the Champions League is obviously the main aim on this one. So let's just have a look at finances straight away. So I've currently got £3 million left in the budget. We're just under the wage budget as well, but we've still got £172 million in the overall balance. Like I said, we got 85 million for Haaland, and we've only got 3 million left. So the first player out then was Idrissi, now a player that I brought in, the only player actually that I brought in season 1. He's a decent player, but he just hasn't featured for us. Obviously, when you're simulating, you don't choose the exact 11 that you want, and it does rotate quite a bit. But he only played 17 games for us in 2 seasons, didn't actually score a goal in that time. We bought him for £5 million. Krasnodar took him for 10.5 million up front, 14.75 million with add-ons, so that's a decent turnaround. Then we let Zagadou go. Now this was another player that was going to leave us at the end of the season, didn't want to stay with us, and we let him go to PSG. Now we let him go for 22.5 million. Could I have got more? Yes. But obviously, my hands were tied with him potentially leaving on a free transfer. And teams didn't want to offer what he was valued at. He was valued at 30 million, 22.5. Wasn't bad. I'll take it. We managed to invest it in a similarly good defender. And then obviously the last player to go was Erling Haaland. Look at the state of this guy. I say it every time I look at his stats. They're absolutely incredible. But he went for £85 million. Obviously, he was scoring goals for us for fun as well. Unbelievable. Look at the state of it, though. 34 starts, 35 goals. 34 starts, 37 goals. Even 28 starts the season before and 27 goals. Absolutely incredible player. But yeah, he's gone off to Manchester City. Will I be able to replace him? Like I say, only time will tell. 111 appearances for Dortmund with 112 goals. You can't ask for much more than that. So coming in then, we brought in the Scotsman, Billy Gilmore, 7 caps, no goals, obviously from Chelsea, was released on a free transfer and we took him. He played 6 games, 1 goal, 1 assist last season, 6.98 rating. He's not played a lot of games, 20 league games overall, but he can play in the midfield. He's youngster, 22-year-old, like I say, decent all-round player, valued at 15 million, and we got him for free. So yeah, we'll see him playing in there. He's probably going to feature as more of a deep line playmaker, maybe a box-to-box. But yeah, Billy Gilmore, the first man in. Next in then was the 21-year-old Brazilian, Caligari. Now, he joined us from PSG after they spent 12 million on him last season. Played 28 games, 1 goal, 2 assists, 1 player of the match performance, a 6.88. We took him then for £17 million. Decent, you know, he's an all-rounded player again. Good acceleration at 16, pace at 14. Can play out on that right-hand side. That's where I want him. Meunier is now on the twilight end of his career. So yeah, Caligari, 21-year-old, and valued at 38 million. So investing that money then from Zagadou, we brought in Ibanez, 24-year-old Brazilian. So that's 2 Brazilians we've brought in this transfer window. Heading, mark and tackling are always the big thing when you're looking for a centre-back, with decent strength as well. 14 strength, but heading and tackling 16 and 17. 24-year-old, so time is still on his side. Currently valued 27 to 30 million, and we spent 24.5 million for him. Has been at Roma, where they bought him for £8 million from Atalanta. 32 games last season with a 7.09 rating. Well worth the money, I think. And then we brought in a German, 27-year-old Jonathan Tah. Now, he joined us from Bayer Leverkusen. 13 caps already, so we've brought in a fully capped German international. Heading, mark and tackling, could be a bit better. That's heading especially at 11. But his strength is 18, so he can muscle players off the ball. We bought him for 11.5 million. That's decent from another team in the Bundesliga, where he only played 11 games last season, a 7.11. Now, he may not start every game. You know, he might not be a regular starter, but we've brought in a bit of international quality and also a German player. Another German player that's joined us then is Kerem Adeyemi. Now, 21-year-old, potential wonder kid, played at Salzburg last season, 26 starts, 11 goals, 4 assists, 3 player of the match performances. We bought him for 14.25 million, which was his release clause. Now, he is quick, acceleration and pace both 17, finishing 12, the arrow next to it, it's on the rise with composure 12 as well. Dribbling and off the ball both far. That's what you want, off the ball from your striker. Play on that last shoulder and go for it. So he's currently valued 68 million to 90 million. There you go. So Kerem Adeyemi comes in up front. And then the big signing was Alexander Isak. Now look at why the arrow's going down. Don't worry about that. Makes it look worse than what it is. But this is the guy that's going to replace Haaland. Now he's currently valued 90 million to 112 million. Acceleration, pace both quick again. With finishing and composure both 14. History-wise, he was obviously at Real Sociedad, where they paid 8.75 million, and we went all out and met his release clause of 78 million. Now, he's played 36 games last season, 13 goals, 4 assists, 2 player of the match performances, but this is the guy that I am pinning all my hopes and dreams on, of winning me the Bundesliga and winning me that Champions League silverware. So that is it as far as the signings go. So this is how we're going to set up. It's a 4-2-4 wide, but we're going to play attacking. I'm focusing a lot of my player out wide. So in goal, we're going to go with Cabell, and then at the back, we've got Guerrero, Ibanez, Tah and Caligari, with Bellingham and Gilmour in the middle. So we've got a British contingent in the middle of the park, with Brandt and Reina out wide, and Adeyemi and Isak up front. Now, obviously, we've got Makoko there as well, who could potentially play even further up with Isak. But yes, that is how we're setting up for the time being. Again, it's a Genga press and it's attacking. We're going to go for it this time round. Hopefully, I don't leave us too wide open. But I think we go for something a little bit more balanced. And I am a sucker for the 2 up front. So Isaac's going to play more of the deep line forward. We've got Gilmour in the middle, playing as a deep line playmaker, with Bellingham box to box next to him. Dynamics wise then, considering we've let a lot of our bigger players go, team cohesion, club atmosphere and managerial support is very good. And top influencers wise, I have got a couple more players now that don't support us, but I've still got no players that oppose us. So 2 of me 3 team leaders, Hummels and Guerrero, still fully support us. Schedule wise then, we're starting off with a game against Kaiserslautern in the Pokal before Mainz, Hertha Berlin, but then we've got Bayern Munich away from home, 3rd game into the season, 2nd of September. Big game there, but you know, 3 points on the board, nice and early, would go a long way. And then finally, looking at the season preview, we're still expected a 2nd place finisher. We've still got to overturn Bayern Munich's dominance. Bellingham, the only player in the media dream 11 as well. Isak, though, is a key player and one to watch. So that is it then, guys. I think we've had a very good pre-season, and we've had a very good transfer window. So yeah, we're going to simulate forward for this next season, and hopefully I haven't absolutely blown it. So season 3 is over then, guys. Erling Haaland, who needs him? You can see, look at that, top of the league. Boston, get off here. We don't want to see that. There we go. 81 points on the board. We finished 13 points clear of Bayern Munich. I think that's how it happened last time as well, the first season that we won. 34 games, 25 wins, 6 draws, 3 defeats, 102 goals scored. That's the best part of 44 goals, more than Bayern Munich. 36 conceded isn't great. That's more than a goal a game, but a goal difference of plus 66. Plus 25 on Bayern Munich, but 81 points on the board. That's the big thing. And we win the Bundesliga without Erling Haaland. Who needs him? We've invested that money superbly, I would say, on that result anyway. So let's just have a look at the past positions, see how it worked for us. So yeah, we were up into 1st place on game day 13 and we stayed there all the way through. What about Bayern Munich? They chased us later on. It took all the way up until match day 18 for them to get the top spot, but they got there and they chased us, but they never caught us, and that's the main thing. Looking at the rest of the competitions then, we actually done a domestic double as we won the Pokal as well. Who did we play in the final? So we beat Bayern Munich 2-1 in the final. Worth having a look to see who the hero was in that one. And Makoko with a goal on the 90th minute gets us the win. There we go. So 90th minute goal. Fairly even game. We only managed 42% possession though. I wonder if that's a theme with the way that we're playing. Finances wise then, we've got £40 million in the transfer budget. 2.8 million in the wage budget. We've got 176 million in the overall balance. Looking good that. Dynamics wise then, Akanji's wanting to leave and so's Diarra, but we're not worried about that for the time being. Got to have plenty of players as supporters now. 21 out of a possible 24. I will take that. Eden Hazard, Diarra and Tolisso, 3 players that I still need to win over. But overall, the majority of the team now supporters, and that is massive. So looking at the player stats then, Adeyemi with 35 goals was the top scorer. Highest average rating, Isaac with a 7.56. Most assists, Malen and Adeyemi with 16 apiece. Mats Hummels had the best pass completion with 96. Most player of the match awards was 11 for Adeyemi as well. And then when we look at the team stats, we scored 102 goals, which was the best. Third best for goals conceded with 36. 81 yellow cards and 5 red cards. Now we have changed it up obviously when we look at the tactic. I did say I was going to distribute out wide, and we haven't. We focused the player down the flanks as well, down the left and the right. But out of possession we get stuck in, and that's the thing. We've gone physical this time, and 5 red cards this season. That's poor for it if I'm honest. But let's have a look how these strikers got on. So Isaac then, how did he get on this season? 32 goals in 44 starts. Not a bad turnaround at all. 32 goals there. Rukoko, how did he do? 16 goals in 17 starts with 24 substitute appearances as well. But that's not bad going. 19-year-old he is now. And then finally, Karim Adeyemi, who's got 35 goals in 49 starts. So losing Haaland hasn't really hurt us as much as I would have thought. And we've won the league and the Pokal, in fairness, to win a double in a season where it was all about just trying to consolidate, as I thought I'd lost the team. I'm going to be honest with you, losing some of those big names in the summer, I genuinely thought was going to hurt us, but we've done well. How did we get on in the Champions League then, as I just completely glossed over that? We were knocked out in the semi-final by Liverpool, who ended up winning the Champions League. So Liverpool, Real Madrid still to play. Erling Haaland, though, was the top goal scorer with 9. But yeah, there you go. We got to the semi-final this time round. One step away now, and if he can continue to build this team in the summer, you know, where do we really need to strengthen in the grand scheme of things? Let's have a look. So the squad depth. We're really good up top. We're good out wide. Midfield-wise, we could probably do with a better midfielder in there. However, Gilmour, how did he get on this season? So 41 starts, 9 goals, 15 assists. Not bad as well from Billy Gilmour. I think looking at the goals we've conceded, it's probably at the back. Ibanez now the best central defender we've got. Obviously, we've got Tar there and Akanji. Hummels has got to be cracking on now. 35 years old. And in fairness, he's about to leave us, so he's going to leave us at the end of this season anyway. And then goalkeeper, that's probably the main area that I need to improve now as Kobol. Yeah, he's good, don't get me wrong, but if we're really wanting to win the Champions League, I'm probably going to need a better goalkeeper. Now capped 8 times by Switzerland though, no caps when we took over. So yes, what we're going to do then is we're going to move forward to the start of Season 4. Obviously, I've just spoke about where we need to strengthen. Hopefully I get that business done. And we've got enough about us to obviously win those domestic titles again and push on. Got to win the Champions League now. That's the next step. So yes, I'll see you for the start of Season 4.
That was my next question.
Dilly dong, come on.
Right then, so the start of Season 4, and we are stronger than we were at the end of Season 3 anyway, and we have strengthened in the areas that I wanted, and we haven't really broken the bank. We've let some players go that don't really fit the system, and like I say, we have definitely strengthened in those areas that could potentially push us on to Champions League glory. I did say at the start of this that this team probably didn't need a major overhaul. There's not too many players now left from the team that I took over. That's unfortunate, like I say. Probably some mistakes made with those contracts early doors. But yeah, we've definitely strengthened. Let's just have a look at the finances to start with. So financially, we've still got £10 million in the bank. We've got £229 million in the overall balance. And we're £1 million, or almost £1 million under the wage budget. Not bad going at all that. And our squad, while it does lack a little bit of depth, we've got enough there, as long as we don't get any major injuries, to see us through. So let's have a look at the transfers. So Thomas Meunier left to Shakhtar on a free transfer. You know, he's been a decent servant for us. 16 games last season. 26 the season before that as well. So Meunier's gone. Thorgan Hazard has also gone. He's gone off to Wolfsburg, so he's actually staying in the Bundesliga. 28 games last season. You know, he's 30-year-old, so I could have probably kept him for another season. Now 31. Yeah, but we've let him go. The biggest outgoing money-wise of the summer was Akanji going off to Eintracht Frankfurt, so he's also stayed in the Bundesliga. But £34 million, only played 3 games for us last season, as we did strengthen our centre-back pairing. But yeah, £34 million for a player that only played 3 times. Tolisso left on a free transfer. He's gone to Mönchengladbach. We brought him in on a free transfer from Bayern Munich. He played 3 games for us in 2 seasons. So he basically just sat there and ate his wages. I brought him in to strengthen. He was always going to be a squad player, but yeah, only to play 3 times, that is poor. But he's gone out on a free transfer. Next to go then was Diarra. Now, he has gone just because of the change in system. He played for us last season, don't get me wrong, played out on that left-hand side, played 9 games, 2 goals, a 6.8 rating, but he's gone to Shakhtar for 22 million, after we spent 13.25 million on him, so I'm happy with that. Like I say, I brought him in predominantly to play behind the strikers, but with the system we're playing now, the 4-2-4, he just doesn't fit in. And lastly then, Felix Passlack, now not a player that we've really seen. He has featured though, 13 games for us last season, 1 goal, 2 assists, £7 million though, and he was a player that I was potentially going to let go on free a couple of seasons ago, and I just extended his contract, basically just to keep him around, a German player as well, but yeah, we've let him go, 26-year-old, decent money for him for a player that's played 42 times for us in what, was it 5-6 seasons? Well, basically all the way through his career. He started with us, and we've let him go. So the first player through the door then, to strengthen a bit more in the midfield, we've got the experienced Stefano Sensi, 28-year-old Italian, 8 caps, 3 goals, quality player, really, really good player when you look at those stats and those attributes. And he's a free transfer. We got him from Inter, 19 games last season, no goals, no assists, but a 6.72 rating after they spent 17.75 million from Sassuolo. So I'm happy with that. And like I say, he's going to fit into the middle, probably going to play as that deep line playmaker where we've got Gilmour, so they will just rotate. We also brought in Tanguy Nianzou. He joined us from Bayern Munich, currently valued at 11 million to 12 million, so yeah, not bad at all for a 22-year-old Frenchman who isn't currently capped. Stats-wise, obviously those technical defensive attributes, heading, mark and tackling, 15, 12 and 13, strength though 16, got to work on that marking, but 22-year-old, still got a lot more to give. Got him on a free transfer, like I say, from Bayern Munich. They got him on a free transfer from PSG, but he did play 13 times for them last season, so he was a regular around the squad. Then we spent 32.5 million on Julian Chabot. Now this guy, 26-year-old German, not fully capped international yet. That's what we're going to push on. Coming in as a centre-back, heading, mark and tackling, all really good. Strength decent as well. But we did spend big money on him. Say 30 million up front, 2.5 million add-ons, taking it up to 32.5. Got him from Lazio after they spent 14.5 million on him. Started off at Eintracht Frankfurt before going to Leipzig on a free transfer. 34 games for Lazio last season, 1 goal, 3 assists, but obviously going to be one of his centre-back options now, 26-year-old, just about to hit his prime. And another centre-back in then was Omar Alderete, Paraguayan, 27-year-old, fully capped again, 37 caps, 1 goal. Technical attributes again, in fairness, technical, mental and physical, he looks good all around. Strength 15, so he's on the cusp there, 27-year-old, about to hit his prime. We spent 16.5 million on him after he was at Hertha Berlin last season. 26 games in the Bundesliga last season and 30 the season before. But yes, it's another centre-back option. I've now got 4 really good centre-backs. And obviously with Hummels leaving on a free transfer, I did need to add a little bit of depth. And Omar Alderete is one of those depth options. So strengthening out on those wide areas, I went for youth. I got a Portuguese 21-year-old, Francisco Conceição. Now I'm assuming that's how you pronounce the surname. I'm good at butchering pronunciations. But yes, we brought him in. £18 million from Porto. 18 games last season. 5 goals, 4 assists. 2 player of match performances as well. 7.28 rating overall. Very good. Dribbling and crossing on its way. Acceleration and pace high as well. And he's got decent technique at 16. He has got flair in abundance at 19. Can play out on that left and right hand side. Wants to be an inverted winger. And he's left footed. So, whichever way we play him is going to suit just fine. And then lastly then, the area that probably needed the biggest improvement, the goalkeeper. So Dominik Livakovic has joined us. Joined us from Dynamo Zagreb. Now, 13 million is an absolute steal. Played 27 games last season, conceded 23 goals. And his average rating well over 7 season after season. 12 clean sheets last season, 3 player to match performances, £30 million. That is a steal. When you look at him, quality goalkeeper. And when you compare him to Kobel, shot stopper much better. I know when we look at Kobel, he's probably not as bad as we make out. But Livakovic is definitely a step up. And for the money we paid for him, absolute bargain. So when we look at overall then, we managed to recoup £63 million from player sales, but bringing in, we spent £78 million. I don't think that's bad going at all. And like I say, financially, we're still in a strong spot with £10 million in the bank. Squad dynamics then with all those changes, team cohesion, club atmosphere, manager support, still all very good. I've got 2 players that are unhappy, but we're not worried about that. 15 players still support us, 6 players have no real opinion, nobody opposes us, winner winner chicken dinner. And then when we look at the tactic, that's how we're going to set up. So we're going to go with Livkovic in goal, Guerrero, Tart, Chabot and Cagliari at the back, with Bellingham and Sensi in the middle, Brandt and Kansakau out wide, and then Isaac and Adeyemi up front. We're still going to play that attack and gegenpress as well, 4-2-4. It did us proud last season. I just worry a little bit when we look at the squad. The squad depth isn't quite there. I'm just absolutely praying that we have no injuries. So looking then at the Bundesliga and finally the season preview, the expectation is that we still finish second place. What do we need to do to get that expectation of winning the league? Immediate Dream 11 wise, we've now got 4 players involved. So Livakovic, Bellingham, Adeyemi and Isaac all involved. Plenty of Bayern Munich players in there though. So yes, I am optimistic in this one. Looking at the competitions, we're now back in the German Super Cup and that comes up against Bayern Munich. But yeah, can we get domestic treble and push on in the Champions League? Obviously, the next step now is the final and winning it. So fingers crossed we do that. So yes, we're going to simulate forward for Season 4 and you'll join me at the end of it. Right then guys, so we're back for the end of Season 4. And as you can see again, bossed the league, absolutely done it. You know, I think the league now, the Bundesliga, is ours to lose every single season. As we finish on 86 points, 8 clear of Bayern Munich. We lost 2 games all season. Who were they to? So we lost to Paderborn and Stuttgart. Paderborn, what are we doing losing 3-2 to them? 5 draws as well. But 34 games, 27 wins, 5 draws, 2 losses. A goal difference of 86 after we scored 116 goals and only conceded 30. 86 points on the board as well. Form was decent towards the back end of the season. Bayern had a bit of a shocker, in fairness, losing 3 of their last 5 games. Which probably give us a title in the grand scheme of things. So looking at the past positions then, from game day 21, yeah, we were top of the league and never looked back. As Bayern Munich, basically, they dropped out of top spot, we went top spot, and they just couldn't catch us. Very happy with that. And then Borussia Gladbach in 3rd, Stuttgart in 4th, Bayer Leverkusen in 5th. Leipzig still down in 6th though. They've had an absolute shocker all the way through this. Is Nagelsmann, he's still in charge as well. He's still in charge. What about the rest of the competitions then? In the Bundesliga, naturally, we know we won it. Manchester City, Chelsea in the final. How far did we get? Let's have a look. So we got to the semi-final against Manchester City. We lost 4-1. What should be Erling Haaland had done us as well? Erling Haaland got a hat-trick. He got a hat-trick against us. Serves me right. He could have went to anybody. He went to Manchester City. And he stopped us getting to the final, Erling Haaland. Well, I hope he wins it. I really do. He scored 20 goals in the competition as well. What an absolute boss. Oh, so we lost the Champions League in the semi-final to Manchester City. We obviously Pokal. We didn't even win that. We were knocked out in the 3rd round by Köln. But we did win the Super Cup. There we go. We won the Super Cup against Bayern Munich. So we've got a double this season. But we've got one more season to get that Champions League crown. And that's, yeah, we're running out of time now. We've come close. Semi-finals in the last 2 seasons. But Erling Haaland stood in our way. And he was just an unmovable force, unfortunately, in that one. Finances wise then, we've got £61 million in the transfer budget, 2.8 million in the wage budget, we're 700k below that, so we've got plenty to play with. Overall balance, 255 million now. What a lovely place to be, but it's not really going into the transfer budget. Considering we started on, what, 8 million, I think, that was in our overall balance when I first took over. You think they'd be a bit more generous with the transfer budget? Should we ask the question, make board request, increase transfer budget? They'll get back to me shortly, so we'll wait and see what happens with that. I'm not holding my breath that they give us more money. Dynamics wise then, team cohesion, club atmosphere and Maggio support is very good. I've got players that want to leave. Isaac wants a new deal, I can go with that. Sensi wants a new deal as well. Top influencers wise then, anybody opposes. Now I've got 3 players that have no real opinion of us now. That's Isaac, Tar and Chabot. Not worried about that. All 3 of my team leaders fully support us. 18 players support me now. And when we look at the Bundesliga and stats, Adeyemi with 23 goals was the 3rd top goal scorer in the league. Weghorst there with 33. 32-year-old, he's loving a goal. 33 goals. Is he consistent as well? So 16 goals the season before with 33, yeah. Average rating, Isaac with a 7.92. Adeyemi with a 7.64. Assists, Isaac with 14. Jeremy Boga, decent player at Borussia Mönchengladbach, 28-year-old Ivorian, got 17 assists up from his 3 the season before. And Player of the Match awards 9 for Isaac as well. So overall pretty decent. But let's have a look at the player stats across all competitions. So top goal scorer was Isaac with 37. He also had the highest average rating at 7.91. Most assists was Adeyemi and Isaac with 17 apiece. Not bad for me two front men. Best pass completion was Tar with 95. Most Player of the Match awards though was Isaac with 12. Omar Alderete had 3 red cards just on his own, and you can see 3 red cards in the league, which was the second worst. So when we look at team stats, we scored 116 goals, which is the best. We also had the best goals conceded at 30, so that's good. Top goal scored and least conceded is where you want to be. 82 yellow cards and 3 red cards, and we had the highest average attendance again. So for me, just having a quick look at the squad and how did the players who we've brought in fit into the squad. So Livakovic with 46 appearances. Let's have a look. Kept 17 clean sheets in all competitions, 11 in the Bundesliga. Alderete obviously absolutely loves a red card. 3 red cards in the Bundesliga. Can you believe it? All 3 for him. And then Francisco Conceição, a player that we brought in just before the season started. 20 starts, 4 goals, 10 assists for the lad in the Bundesliga, so not bad going from him at all neither. Currently valued at 47 million as well. And then finally looking at the tactic, is there anywhere this time round that we really need to strengthen? Not for me. I think we're in a decent place. I think we've got a decent centre-back pair and now a very good goalkeeper. Decent one. I mean, you know, this isn't the team that I started with. So basically all 4 of my front men are all strikers. Malen, Makoko, Isaac and Adeyemi all can play in any of those positions up top. And you can see that in the amount of goals that we've been scoring. So what we're going to do then is we are going to move forward to the start of Season 5. It's my one last opportunity to win the Champions League after, like I say, Haaland scuppered our chances in the semi-final this season. So yes, I'll see you for the start of Season 5.
That was my next question.
Dilly dong, come on.
Right then guys, we're back for Season 5, the final season. Can we get the Holy Grail that is the Champions League? We've got a good enough team, and I'm sure down in the comments there'll be people saying, how you haven't won the Champions League with this team? You're terrible at the game. Well, maybe so, but, you know, I've got one more season to redeem myself, and that's what we're going for. We've had a fantastic pre-season when we look at the fixtures. 1 goal conceded in 4 games, an 8-0 victory in there, and a 9-1 victory against Fenerbahce. So, some decent results overall. We've still got AC Milan in another friendly, and we've got Bayern Munich in the Super Cup. We're just having a quick look at these fixtures. We don't actually play Bayern again until the end of November, so we can get some real momentum going. But yeah, we've strengthened the team nicely when we're looking at the finances. We've still got £17 million in the transfer budget. We're spending just under the wage budget. I reduced it quite dramatically so I could spend some more in the transfers. And we've got £294 million in the overall balance. We've made a loss of £41 million so far this season, but I have gone big. And we've had 2 players leave us. So Emre Can, he's gone off to Bayern Munich. Let him go on a free transfer. Still a quality player, 31-year-old. He just didn't want to renew his contract. So yeah, he's joined them. He played plenty of games for us. 20 games last season, 7.39 rating, 3 goals, 7 assists. And off he goes. And then Jonathan Tah is quite a ridiculous offer here. He didn't really do too much for us. Only played 11 games last season. And Stuttgart come in with a £42 million offer. Too good to refuse, if I'm completely honest. He wasn't a standout player. Yes, he played a few games for us. You know, heading, marking, tackling weren't the greatest. I said about that heading, which was 11. But he made up for it with strength. But yeah, not great. So £42 million for a player that hasn't really featured. And he's given us the opportunity to strengthen the team. So the first player in then was Rydal Baku. Now he has joined us, going out on that right-hand side, basically where Emre Can has left. So £30 million, Wolfsburg had him for 9 million. He's already played in the Bundesliga, 33 appearances last season, 6 assists, 2 player of the match performances, 6.95, just under that 7 that I would like him to be averaging at. But yeah, £30 million. Got decent pace and acceleration, 15 and 16 there. Mentally, he's fantastic. Work rate, teamwork, off the ball, all good. He's got great natural fitness, which is what we want when we're getting on pressing and we're really trying to press the ball. So yeah, I'm happy with that. I'm happy with the purchase. Maybe we spent a little bit on the higher side, but I've got a very good option now on that right-hand side, obviously where we've got Kagari as well. So I've got 2 very good options on that right-hand side. We then strengthened out in that left-back position with Noah Katterbach. So German, no international caps, but we can build on that. He's an all-rounded player. He's still got a little bit to give technically. You don't want him taking free kicks, and you certainly don't want him finishing. He's not a leader, but overall, the rest of his stats look pretty decent. We didn't pay a large amount for him, £16 million. He played for Köln in the Bundesliga last season, 25 starts. So we know what we're going to get from him. He's not going to play a lot of games. Guerrero's still the main man out on that side, but again, another depth option. And then finally, the big transfer, Marash Kumbulla, coming in as centre-back. Obviously, a replacement for Tar, but this guy is going to start. Heading, mark and tackling, all on the high side. Technically, he's not great apart from those attributes. Mentally, he's okay. Physically, though, he's a boss. Can only play at centre-back. He's fully capped Albanian. He's 25-year-old as well, so he's got plenty of time on his hands. We paid a lot of money, though, for him. £60 million after he went to Roma for £18.75 million from Verona. So yeah, played 23 games last season, 2 goals, 3 assists, a 7.17 rating. But that's really going to strengthen up our centre-back options. And when we look at it tactically, I'm probably going to go with Kobol's not going in goal. Don't know what that's about. So we're going to go with Livakovic in goal, Guerrero, Ibanez, Kumbulla and Baku at the back, with Bellingham and Sensi in the middle, Brandt and Konsikau out wide, and then Makoko and Isaac up front. What a team that is. What a quality team. Makoko is getting better. He's still not the finished article, obviously a 20-year-old. But this guy, last season, how many goals did he get for us? 19 goals in 29 starts. That's an improvement of 9 on the season before. A 7.33 rating. Quality. And dynamics-wise, team cohesion is very good. Club atmosphere is excellent. Managerial support is very good. The Hoodie wants to leave. Nobody wants him. He's transfer listed. But I've only got 14 players now for supporters. 8 players that have no real opinion. But still, no players opposers. And finally then, obviously looking at where they expect us to finish. So, season preview. Still a second place finish. I've got 3 players in the Media Dream 11, Bellingham, Isaac and Adeyemi. Bayinda has gone to Bayern Munich. He was a player I looked at and my board said no, they didn't want him. That's when we brought in Livakovic. So he has gone off to Bayern Munich. What did he go for? 16.75 million, played 31 games for them last season. So yes, we're expected a second place finish. So this is it then. Last season to win the Champions League. It's all or nothing now, so let's go for it. So here we are, the end of Season 5, it's over, and we've ended 1 point behind Bayern Munich in the league, so we couldn't retain the Bundesliga. Let's have a look at how it all fared out. So Bayern Munich, they had a bit of a shocker last 5 games of the season, and we still couldn't catch them. They lost to us 3-2 by the look of it there. We were unbeaten in our last 5. We only lost 2 games all season. It's a shocker when you look at it. So we played 34 games, we won 28, drew 4, lost 2, scored 101 goals, conceded 33. Look at the state of that. Bayern Munich only conceded 16 goals all season. They won 29, drew 2, lost 3. And we just couldn't do enough. That is, we must have been chasing them all season. Let's have a look at plenty of wins there. We didn't have the greatest start to the season. But after that, plenty of greens there as we chased them. When we have a look at, obviously, the stages and the past positions, we just couldn't catch them. They went into top spot game day 6. We went into second spot on match day 10. And we just could not catch them. Everything we'd done just wasn't good enough. Not ideal. Bayern Munich's form then must have been incredible. So let's have a look at that. And yeah, it's strong. Look at all those wins. Look at the state of that there. Basically, from the 4th of October all the way down until the drew with Leipzig on the 14th of March. That is some going that. No wonder we couldn't catch them. So competitions-wise then, what does it look like? We've won the Champions League. We've won the Champions League. I should have really went down and had a look at that straight away. We beat Bayern Munich in the final 3-2. A 95th minute goal from Makoko gets us the win. We had 11 shots, 7 on target, 43%. Got to watch the goal, haven't we? We've got to do it. And it's a free kick as well as Makoko. What a screamer of a goal to win us the Champions League. 95th minute. Oh, you love to see it. And there you go. So we win the Champions League. We've done it finally. Last season as well. Fairy tale. You couldn't make it up. As we also won the Pokal. Who did we play in the final for that one? We beat Hamburger 4-2 in that one. Was that another late victory or did we just absolutely boss it? So we were actually 4-0 up before they scored 2. Makoko with 2 goals in that one as well. And then we finished runner-up in the German Super Cup standard. But Makoko got 13 goals in the Pokal, 9 goals in the Champions League, and 26 goals in the Bundesliga. So he was top goal scorer across those 3 competitions. That is incredible. So finances-wise then, we've got £53 million in a transfer budget, but we've got £360 million in the overall balance. So yeah, we've definitely left the club in a strong financial position, to say the least. Dynamics-wise then, team cohesion, club atmosphere and managerial support's all very good, as expected. You've got players that want to leave, you've got players that want new deals, but top influencers-wise, surely everybody supports us. I've got one player that has no real opinion of us, Shabot, who's just another player, just sat at the bottom. He's not even an influential player amongst the squad. Unbelievable, cannot believe that we finished that way. And finally then, looking at the player stats, Moukoko with 49 goals this season. What is that for a turnaround? 26 in the league, that's up 7 on the previous season as well. Highest average rating was Isaac with a 7.58. Most assists was Francisco Canscal with 33 assists. Again, what an absolute improvement that is. 16 assists, up 10 on the previous season. With 12 assists in the Champions League as well. 7 goals, seems like a decent sign in there. Kumbulla had the best pass completion with 95%. Most player of the match awards goes to Moukoko with 14. Baku has the most yellow cards with 17 and Bellingham with 1 red card. But team stats wise across the Bundesliga competition, we scored 101 goals, which is the best. We conceded 33. We were never going to beat Bayern Munich for theirs. We finished second best in that. 77 yellow cards, which was the second worst. And 1 red card, which was the 5th worst. But when you look financially, like I say, we've left them much, much stronger. So finally then, having a look at my milestones. I took over in 2021. We won a domestic double in 2022 as we took the Pokal and the Bundesliga crown. In 2024, we won the Super Cup, the Pokal and the Bundesliga. Treble there. In 2025, we won the Bundesliga. And in 2026, we won the Champions League and the Pokal. And I was entered into the English Managers Hall of Fame. So there we go then, guys. I think last of all, let's just have a look at the overview. We bought in 19 players for a total of 356 million and we sold 54 for 253. So yeah, we spent 103 million over the expectation. Look at the amount of days we had on holiday as well. Unbelievable. So there we go then, guys. Thank you very much for joining us on this one. There'll be plenty more rebuilds coming throughout the FM22 cycle. Please leave down in the comments any team that you'd like me to have a go at. Obviously, I've got a list of teams that I'm going to take on this season anyway. But yeah, please leave any comments in there. There might be teams that I haven't even thought about that will give us some good entertainment and present a decent challenge. So yes, thank you very much for watching. If you have liked, please give it a like and subscribe. As like I say, we'll continue to grow this channel. But thank you very much for your time. Stay safe and I'll catch you later. Ta-ra.